What's going on, Titan Gaming? Today, Paul and I are going to be giving out our predictions for who the Bengals will be drafting in each round. We hope you enjoy and stay tuned for the next episode when we talk about who the Redskins will be drafting. So, who do you think the Bengals are going to take first pick in the first round?
Well, if we take a look at what their roster needs, I'd say quarterback is a big one for sure, along with offensive line and even linebacker depth they lack. So number one overall pick, I'm guessing the Bengals go with Joe Burrow. This is a guy that's been called the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck by some, and this is the right choice for the Bengals in the draft. With Andy Dalton likely on the way out, adding a young franchise QB is exactly what the Bengals need for the future.
Yeah, I agree because I feel like with that type of quarterback and what he did at LSU, I think he's going to start first year and that Andy Dalton will be traded draft weekend most likely.
Mm-hmm.
That's my prediction. And I think they need a quarterback to crawl out of the AFC North basement because they've been struggling the past few years with injuries with Andy Dalton, AJ Green. I think this will kind of be like a lifesaver and pull them out of it.
Yes, especially with him throwing for 5,600 yards along with 60 touchdowns with only 6 interceptions. I think this is a very good pick for the Bengals to pick.
Yeah, and I'm excited because everyone's healthy as far as we know, and he has a lot of offensive weapons to deal with as his first year.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree.
So you want to go to the second round?
Yeah, sure. So what do you have for pick number 33?
I have Zach Bond. I have him as he's a linebacker, and he is out of Arizona, I think. But the Bengal defense needs they need like middle linebackers to deal with Baker, Lamar, and Roethlisberger because especially with Lamar, like they're not going to be able to make the wild card or anything if they can't beat the Browns and the Ravens. So um I think a linebacker is what they need for the second pick. And my bad, he's from Wisconsin. So
I went a little bit of a different route. I actually had them picking a wide receiver out of Baylor, Denzel Mims.
Oh, really?
He's an impressive catch he's got impressive catch like he's good at catching the ball. He's got a good radius, and then he's a good athlete. He's a great athlete.
Uh-huh.
And the reason I picked this is because their team struggles with injuries, especially a wide receiver. With AJ Green going down almost every single year, along with John Ross. So he would fit perfectly into the third wide receiver role with Boyd and Green above him as the Bengals roster stands. And last year he had 66 catches for 1,000 yards with 12 touchdowns. So I think this addition to the roster would be very good.
Yeah, I kind of had what you had, but like I had my wide receiver third round, but I just thought like they got an offensive pick first round. I think like a linebacker would help clean up I guess polish their defense. And I expect big change coming to the defensive roster this draft, and I think it's going to start with Zach Bond coming out of Wisconsin.
Yep. So yeah, and then if I take a look at my third round pick, I actually went linebacker too.
Oh, really?
I went Akeem Davis Gaither out of Appalachian State. So I think he's a good third linebacker matched up with Jermaine Platt and Josh Bynes at the other two linebacker spot on the Bengals roster. Mm-hmm. He managed to rack up 101 tackles last year, along with 5 sacks and 1 interception.
Yeah, that's good.
I think this would be a good third matchup along with the linebackers already there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for my third round, I picked a wide receiver, kind of what you did second round, and mainly for the same reasons because I said that I feel like they need a backup wide receiver for the talent that they have on the starters because with AJ Green getting hurt too many times, like he's been hurt. I think he's missed 24 regular season games the past 2 years because of his injuries. And John Ross occasionally, it would be good to have a decent backup, and that's why I picked Brandon Ayuk out of Arizona State because he's fast, and I think it'd be a good addition to their backups if any of them get hurt, which we tend to see.
Yes, I'd agree with that. So heading to the fourth round, I had Solomon Kinley, offensive guard from Georgia. I think the Bengals O-line needs attention, so getting a solid young guard would help out a lot. The Bengals offensive line ranked third to worst in the NFL last year, so getting a good offensive lineman at any position would help them.
Yeah, that's a smart one because with Joe Mixon, I know he was on my fantasy team and he was so inconsistent because the O-line couldn't do anything for the first half of the season. For what I felt, he got all his points and yards off of screen passes and short passing routes. because the O-line couldn't do anything. For the fourth round, I picked an outside linebacker, Keen Davis Either from Appalachian State, because I feel like another linebacker will help their linebacker issues get out of the way for good, and also like being a good position to stop Lamar and hold the Browns' explosive offenses for next year. And I feel like if they don't get good linebackers, I think they can kiss the playoffs goodbye for like the next 3 years, because that's where I feel like it starts for their defense. Because if you think about it, on their D line, they got Carlos Dunlap and Geno Atkins. They got decent defensive backs, so that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, we actually had the same player. I have him going in the third round. You have him going in the fourth round.
Oh yeah.
All right, so moving on to the fifth round. What were you thinking?
I actually have a Josiah Deguara, and he is a tight end. And
I also have a tight end going this round.
Oh, really? Who is it?
Thaddeus Moss from LSU.
Because I picked the tight end because I think it's a quality add this late in the draft, and like the tight end I chose, he would benefit for their offense because he's good at blocking He's good at like blocking the outside, I guess, tackles, and it can help get their run game established. And with Eifert, I guess, kind of being a little older, like he'd be a decent
Eifert's
backup.
gone.
Yeah, well, he's gone. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I picked Thaddeus Moss because, again, you get the connection because they both are from LSU. So Joe Burrow's already played with this guy, so that just it helps coming in for both of them coming in with the connection they already have built. And Moss gained 570 yards along with 4 touchdowns last season. He's also a good blocker, so I think this would be a good pickup for them.
Yeah. You ready to go to the 6th round?
Yep.
So who did you pick for the 6th round?
So in the 6th round, I have Washington Huskies offensive guard Trey Adams. He's a tough blocker with potential to start in the NFL. He's got great length and he's a pretty solid athlete along with good football IQ. But he does have some concerns. But again, it's a 6th round pick.
Yeah.
So he struggles with blitzes and speedy edge rushers. But with a 6th round pick, I don't think it's that much of a risk for the Bengals to pick him.
Yeah, I picked an O-line too because I picked Alex Leatherwood from Alabama because, like we've been saying before, there's so many holes in the O-line. It's hard to go like this late in the round without one, in my opinion. So I feel like they pick one for sure, probably 6th pick. And Alex Leatherwood's like a good power blocker, and I think it's what they need for the O-line.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
So moving on to round 7, I have Mohamed Berry, linebacker from Nebraska.
Gotcha.
So this is pretty much just a depth pick. The Bengals don't have many bodies in the linebacker room, so it's just pretty much a couple. They definitely need depth. So having Mohamed Berry be a solid depth option. Berry has good sideline to sideline speed, so that'd make him a dependable contributor on special teams. I think he'd be excellent for special teams. And as of last year, his stats, he had 89 total tackles along with 1 sack and 1 fumble recovery. So I think this is pretty much just going to be a depth pick and a special teamer kind of guy.
That's kind of what I had going into my 7th pick. I picked Jalen Elliott from Notre Dame. He's a defensive back, and he's just there to add depth, and he's good at reading zone coverages, and he's pretty fast too, but he's a little on the shorter side, but I think he'd be a good addition to their secondary, and he'd also be playing some special teams positions too. And yeah, that's who I got. So
yeah, it's pretty. I'd agree that they could use a cornerback, but I don't think they're going to necessarily draft one because they already got 2 new additions in the offseason.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, so I think our drafts are pretty similar, just some in different orders, but we basically got all the same positions besides the 7th
we covered the same position. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, only 10 more days until draft day, so see what happens when the draft starts. But I definitely think Joe Burrow is going to go first pick in the NFL draft.
Yep. And then either a linebacker or a wide receiver, 2nd pick. And then 3rd pick is going to be whatever they didn't get 2nd pick, I feel like. So.
And then, I think 4th will be a lineman. I mean, we both have fifth round having a tight end going, which I think is pretty realistic because they lost Eifert and they just need another tight end.
Yep.
And then round 6, another offensive lineman because they need offensive lineman help. And then round 7, just a depth kind of guy.
Yeah. So I think we got covered, and I think it'll be good to see what happens to the Bengals this year, especially with all the competition in their division. They need to step up their game, and I think this is a good draft class for them to do it.
I would agree.